Good afternoon, everyone. Let's see. I'm just checking to see how many people are on. Oh, I got the camera closed. Sorry. I know you guys all want to see this pretty face. Let's see here. I'm just checking to see how many people are in chat right now because my wife was in the background and she said she just saw like 15 to 20 people, but it's only showing 6 on my end. There might be more people in here and it's just slow. Let's see. I'm just checking my other computer screen. How's everybody doing today? Oh, now you're going to hear an echo, maybe. There we go. Hey, Alyssa, how we doing? So, first thing I want to point out is I was having a lot, and I mean a lot of issues with my videos on Twitch. So, it's playing live, no problem. But sometimes when it's saving the videos, it thinks that it's still broadcasting. So, based on what I am looking at on my page, it says that the lesson that I did with you guys yesterday is still broadcasting for exactly 24 hours and 6 minutes, and it's still going. So I can't download that lesson to put it on YouTube right now. So if you're looking at the worksheet that I have here, I'll scroll up real quick to see, just in case if you haven't seen the video yet, you can at least go back and watch this video and you can see all the answers. And then if you have a question at how I got to that answer, then just let me know and then I'll help you guys out. Okay? So I'm only going to focus on 4, 5, and 6 today. And once I'm done with 4, 5, and 6, done with the lesson, and then you should be able to do everything that's on that little homework that's attached. Again, I just want to make sure that you guys are aware the homework that I have set up in Shobi is more just a guideline. So when I say the due date is, I think I said it was tonight at 9 o'clock. I'm not 100% sure. But even though it says 9 o'clock, it doesn't mean it has to be in right at that time. I have flexibility. I know you guys have other stuff going on at home. Just get it to me when you can so I can at least look it over and make sure you guys are doing all right. Yo, what's going on, Luke? I just assumed you were watching with Olivia. You need the iTunes. So, Ethan, what I can do right now is I'll email you the lesson. Hold on. I cannot put student emails up on the iPad, so I'll let you guys zoom in on my face. Ethan, I'll email it to you right now so you have it. Let's see here. And then I can begin this lesson. Let's see here. Boom, boom. And then, Ethan, send me an email so I remember at the end of this that I need to set you up with iTunes. There you are. All right, Ethan, I just sent it to you on your end, so you should be able to open it up and check it out. All right, I could switch back to the teaching screen now. All right, so Denasius, the homework for tonight, it's this one. I opened up the wrong one. So it's just homework 1, math 12. You guys only have to do the ones that are highlighted. Yes, Quinn, this is going to be the lesson. I just popped up the homework by mistake. Same lesson as yesterday. I'm just going to finish the back page. Okay, so the ones that I have highlighted are the ones that I want you guys to do. 14 on the homework is the only one that I have not taught you guys yet. That's what I'm going to be doing right now. Lydia, you just woke up, didn't you? You probably really did just wake up. All right, so this is, again, lesson 1. You guys can go right to the back page. We're just doing 4, 5, and 6. 4 is one that we have been doing since Algebra 1. And then I'm going to show you guys the new step with number 5 and number 6. Because number 5 and 6 are really completely identical to number 4. It's just making sure that you guys recognize that they are the same problem. So I'll start off on 4. And if you take a look at this, we have 10, a to the fourth, b to the fourth, plus 8, b to the fifth, a to the third. If we want to simplify this, we can only simplify it with factoring. So you guys have to do something called GCF. So when you guys go to do GCF here, you're going to have to find out what numbers that are in common. If you have 10 and 8, the largest number that both of those have in common is going to be 2. So I can pull a 2 to the outside. But then I have to make sure that I'm looking to see how many A's I have in common and how many B's I have in common. And the trick that I taught you guys in class is to just pick the exponent of the smaller one. So if we're looking at the A's, this one is a 4 and this one is a 3. So that just means we have a to the third in common because you only have 3 A's in common. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the B's. In this case, I have 4 B's, and in this one I have 5 B's. So now I know I have to have 4 B's in common, and I can write b to the fourth. And in order to completely simplify it, we just have to finish it up. Yeah, Lydia, that's what it's called. Lesson 1, algebraic expressions. It's if you're trying to find it in iTunes. Here, let me finish the problem, and then I'll pull it up if you're still having trouble. Just in case if anybody's going to watch this later. I don't want it to be delayed. If I pulled out a 2, I'll have a 5 left. I pulled out 3 A's, so I have an A left. I pulled out 4 B's, so no more B's. Plus, I could pull out that 2, so I'll have 4 left. And then I will have no A's and 1 B. That is completely simplified. There is nothing left we can do. Lydia, did Olivia help you out? You're good? I'm going to assume the thank you is a yes. I know it's a little delayed, so yeah. Let's see here. So what I want you guys to notice, if you look at number 5 is actually the same exact question as number 4. The only difference is I'm not using A's and B's. I'm using 1 minus x and x plus 1. So we're going to solve it the same exact way. It's just the only difference is A is really 1 minus x and B is x plus 1. So it's the same exact thing. We still have to simplify it down using GCF. So we have this left side, and we have this right side. I'll use blue. So just like number 4, you're looking at what number does 10 and 8 have in common. Well, that's not going to change because it's coefficients. When you're factoring coefficients, it's always going to be identical. I'm going to pull a 2 out. Let's see here. I'll do some. I already did purple. I could pull out that 2. Well, now what we're going to do is we have to look at the entire binomial. We got to look at the entire parenthesis. So I have 1 minus x to the fourth right here. And if I come over to the other side, I have 1 minus x to the third. So just like before, we said that we had 3 A's in common. Instead of writing the letter A, we're just going to say that we have 1 minus x in common, and we have 3 of them in common. Because again, there's a 4 here, and there's a 3 here. Since those parentheses are exactly the same, we're just saying we have 3 of them in common. Okay? Now I'm going to do the same thing for the x plus 1. So I have the x plus 1 to the fourth right here. And I also have the x plus 1 to the fifth right here. So again, if we pick the smaller exponent, we know that we have 4 of them in common. Now all we have to do is just state what we have left over inside our big parenthesis. So this, again, GCF. All the steps are the same. So now if I pulled out a 2, again, we're going to be left with a 5 on the inside. We took out 3 1 minus x's. So we only have 1 more 1 minus x on the inside. And we took out 4 x plus 1's. So we could take out the 4 x plus 1's on the inside. Plus, and once again, how many times does 2 fit into 8? it fits in 4 times. So we took out 3 1 minus x's, so those cancel out. And then we took out 4x plus 1's. Oops, sorry guys. Hit the little arrow key on the side. So that means we're going to be left with 1x plus 1 on the inside. What I want you guys to see is if you were to plug in a and b for all those 1 minus x's and x plus 1's, you should see that these two answers are exactly the same. It's just sometimes when you do these problems, you're not going to have letters. You're going to have binomials, so you're going to have to simplify it down with those parentheses. Okay. So I'm going to do the same exact thing in number 6. Number 6 is the same exact type of problem as number 5. It's just there's a denominator as well. So I'm going to walk you guys through the same steps. I think the one that I gave on the homework is like number 5. Did I give it as a fraction? I have to go back and check real quick now. No, I did give it as a fraction. So it'll be good to know how to do this fraction one underneath. So if you guys take a look at number 6. So I'm only going to focus on the top. I only want to look at this top portion. So I have this first part on the left side. I have the second part on the right side. And what I want to do is same exact thing as we just did up top, is I want to do a GCF. So if I have 4 and 6, I just want to find the largest number that can fit in. The coefficients is always the easy one. So I'm going to pull out a 2. Now I have to look at the x plus 3's. So the first one has x plus 3 to the 4th. The second one has x plus 3 to the 3rd. So I know that I can pull out 3 x plus 3's because those are the only ones that we have in common. Now we can look at the x minus 2's. The first one is squared and the second one is cubed. So I know that I can pull out 2x minus 2's. And then all we have to do is write down what's left over. So if I put down what's left over, I can divide that 4 by 2. So I'll have 2 left over. I pulled out 3x plus 3's, so I only have 1 more x plus 3 left over. And we pulled out an x minus 2 squared, so that x minus 2 squared is just going to cancel out. Okay. If you're confused with anything, because I'm kind of talking verbally, if you're getting confused with how I'm canceling anything out, just don't be afraid to speak up. I then have minus. Well, right now I got a 6. If I divide 2 away from that 6, because we pulled that out, we would have 3 left over. We took x plus 3 cubed to the outside, so that x plus 3 cubed cancels out. And we only took out 2 of the x minus 2's, so there's still 1 x minus 2 left on the inside. The only difference between this problem and the last one is it is a fraction, so we still have that denominator. So we still have x plus 3 times x minus 2 cubed. So because it's still a fraction, we just have to make sure we divide anything that's in common. So you guys may recall when we did factoring fractions, we would cancel out anything that was exactly the same on top and bottom. Well, in this case, we have some x plus 3's that are the same, but we only have one that's the same. So we're only allowed to cross one out. So I'm going to cross off this x plus 3 on the bottom, and I can only cross off 1x plus 3 on top. So I'm just going to change this 3 to a 2 because we took 1 away from it. We also have some x minus 2's that are in common. So if I look at this, I have x minus 2 cubed, x minus 2 squared. Well, since we only have 2 of them in common, we're only allowed to cross 2 of them out. So I can cross off the one on the top, and I just have to make sure I change this 3 to a 1 or just cancel out the 3 completely because we have 1 x minus 2 left over. And now I'm just going to write down what's left over. So on the top, we're going to have 2 times x plus 3 squared. And then we still have that big parenthesis, which technically we could simplify down in there. So I'm going to distribute that 2, and we're going to have 2x plus 6. And then I'm going to distribute that negative 3. So I'm going to have negative 3x plus 6 all over x minus 2. And I guess the only other thing we can do to simplify this problem is combine what's inside that second parenthesis on the top, and then we're done. So we still have 2 times x plus 3 squared. And if you combine like terms in that second one, 2x minus 3x is just going to be negative x. And 6 plus 6 is just 12. And it's all left over x minus 2. So I don't know if you guys have any questions for that. I know the video is a little delayed. I told you guys I want to try to keep these lessons around 15 minutes, and I'm showing the 19 mark. So with the little intro, that is pretty much 15 minutes. So everything else that was on this page was just some more practice with like factoring and stuff and finding LCD. So I'm not worried about 7 and 8. So I just want to make sure you guys feel comfortable with really just 5 and 6, because 4 we've been doing since Algebra 1. So I'm not worried about that one. So just make sure you guys feel good with 5 and 6. Quinn, can you show me what we have to do for the homework again? Yeah, no problem. So as far as the homework goes, as long as there's no other questions, I can always jump back to this if you guys need it. As far as the homework goes, if I jump back to the first page, 1 through 4. So I just want you to write it in interval form, or I would just want you to graph the lines on the line provided. Number 7 is like the absolute value one that we did yesterday. So if you guys were not part of the lesson yesterday, just head over to Twitch and click on my videos, and you can watch the one from yesterday. And then as far as the back page goes, don't worry about 9 through 12. 13 is just factoring. 14 is like one of the problems we just did. And then 15 and 16 is factoring as well. Yeah, Ethan, I'll email it to you right now. I don't want to put the code on here because there's going to be some creeper in here that is going to probably steal our iTunes and hack it. Did I not create it in Shobi? Let me check. We'll go into Shobi real quick. Math 12. No, I haven't created it. I'll create it right now for you guys. I can't click on it right now because if I click on it, it's going to bring up all of your names, and it's kind of illegal to put your names up on stream. Well, because again, we don't want anybody stealing your guys' identities. So I'm not going to do that. But I'll add it up into Shobi in a little bit, so if you guys finish this homework, you can turn it in. Again, I think what I'll do is I'll put a deadline for 9 o'clock tomorrow night. If you turn it in before, awesome. If you can't get it in by that time, it's okay. Oh my gosh, Ethan, did you do anything this year? You're killing me, bro. You spend like 3 periods a day in my room and you don't even do math? Come on. All right, I'll make sure I'll get that to you guys. That's how I'm going to end today. If anybody else needs that iTunes code or Shobi code, let me know. I've been sending out a bunch of individual emails to everybody in your class. I think I got through half the class. I'm going to send the other half emails in a little bit, just making sure that you guys are good as far as the tech goes. Only other thing I got to mention is the iTunes. I don't know. Oh, great. Now I'm putting names up again. I'm going to get in trouble. So as far as the iTunes go, I know some people are having trouble downloading from their iPad. I'm going to upload a YouTube video that's going to show you guys how to fix that issue. So if you're trying to download it and you keep getting an error, watch the video that I'm going to post. It will be on my YouTube channel. Same name that I use here, the Professor Saddington. So you guys can just search it on YouTube if you don't have the link. Otherwise, do you really need the homework, Quinn? Ah, shoot. Quinn, I'll get to you in a second. But that's all I got. I hope you guys have an awesome evening, and same time tomorrow. Oh, okay. You got the homework. All right, good. Good, 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 good. All right. You guys have an awesome night. See you guys later.